everybody. Welcome to the Mallett live stream. It is Tuesday. Hope you're having a good week so far. We are one day closer to stuffing our bellies on Thanksgiving, hopefully for everyone else watching as well. But as always, let's get started with the show. It is a good one. Today, by request, we are talking about planning an accessory building in 70769 or Ascension Parish. Now, as always, these have been coming from you, the audience of people who are asking where and what the information is in their location. So if you have a location you want some information on, just drop it in the comments, whether it be a zip code or a parish, as specific as you can be, as the best option possible, and we will get all the information we can for you so you can be better prepared in your next accessory building build. How's that sound? Good? Awesome. Let's get on with the show. Per usual, if you are a healthcare worker, first responder, military personnel, teacher, and or educator, you will get $500 off your next Mallett building. You do so much for our community. This is just our way of saying thank you for what you do, and we appreciate you, and we want to give you $500 off your next Mallett building. Now, Tiger Cash, comment cash on a live feed just like this to receive $1,000 off your next elite or signature building. Now, this does not apply to specials or promotional prices. However, if you fall into one of these categories and comment cash, you will receive $1,500 off. Again, Tiger Cash is for the regular priced buildings on the elite and signature lines. However, does not apply to specials or promotional prices. Keep that in mind. Always want to make sure that's clear and upfront. Happy Tuesday, Mr. Tim. Thank you so much for joining us as always. But this is cash for the Tiger Cash. Comment cash and you'll get $1,000 off your next Mallett building. Moving along, where's Mallett? We have 66 jobs going on this week alone. Even with a holiday week, we are still putting up a lot of buildings. So, as you can see, everywhere from almost to Austin, we're just outside of College Station. Yeah, sorry, I'm an LSU fan. But moving right along, we are all the way up the I-10, moving down to 90, up down 49, all through Louisiana, even touching some parts of Mississippi. We have a job going on there as well. Mallett is all over the place. 46 jobs in Louisiana. As you can see, the map is clustered here at the bottom of the state. We are everywhere from Boyce to Keithville, Folsom, Brobridge, Scott, St. Martinville, Houma, Sunset, Doosan, Youngsville, Ragley, Church Point, Scott, New Orleans, all over the map. So, love seeing this. We have everything from plumbing, concrete, finishers, buildings that are going to be delivered, inspections going on, buildings in construction currently, on the ground materials ready to be put up, control joints, gutters, and forms are just a few of the things going on in the projects here this week at Mallett Buildings. And it doesn't stop there. We're also in Texas with a total of 19 jobs. And now these numbers are as of yesterday morning. They've gone up. I can try and get an updated list for you here soon. But we're doing finishers in Port Neches, concrete in Beaumont, gutters in Montgomery, North Zoltz, New Waverly, inspections and in construction on the ground, forms and buildings that are going to be delivered later this week so they get a Mallett building. So much going on in Texas, over 19 jobs happening, and that one in Mississippi as well. We're all over the place. Cash, 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 does that equal 3,000? Unfortunately not, Mr. Tim. I too have family that lives in Houma, so maybe we know each other down the line. So specials and promotions, this is a good one. We love our specials and promotions, guys, and November has some hot ones for you. We have a 30 by 30 by 12 building with a 30 by 20 gable extension for $33,999. And that's gonna come with these features, but this is not all the features. It's going to have 2 by 12 headers, 26 gauge metal, concrete under every post, 4,000 PSI concrete, I might add, 170 mile an hour wind rated trusses, 2 by 8 scissor trusses that are made in-house. Stay tuned. Tonight we're going to be posting another video of an inside the truss plant walkthrough. Be sure to check that out. Number one, MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber as well. And this is just a few of the features, you guys. We will definitely be talking about more of those here soon. But this is just a few of the features that make our classic building that much better than everything else on the market. We're very proud of this. This is, again, is a 30 by 30 by 12 with a 30 by 20 gable extension for $33,999. If you want to give us a call, get that started with a building specialist, it's going to be 337-214-0428, and we can get you quoted up and ready. Don't wait. These specials end at the end of November, and starting in December, we have a whole new line of specials coming out. So don't wait out if this is something you're looking for. Moving right along, we have a 30 by 50 by 12 with a 30 by 24 gable extension. A little bit bigger building, a little bit bigger gable extension. Same amazing specs. Now, this one is $44,999. It's a phenomenal price, you guys. I can't believe you're not on the phone right now. Stop what you're doing. Shut the live if you have to. Dial the number and call Mallett Buildings. Get you on the list for a Mallett building. And if you're not purchasing now, we have savings plan options as well. So what is a savings plan? We're gonna have an interesting conversation about that here next week. So stay tuned for that. But that is essentially your layaway system here at Mallett Buildings to allow you to pay it down as you go. For more information on that, you can talk to your building specialist. They have all of that for you and they can inform you on that. But just know it's not all up front here at Mallett as far as the money goes. You can put it down as you go. What is up front though is all the information, and that's what we're doing here today. So we want to make sure you're well informed on all of your possibilities to make this $44,999 building yours. So moving right along, if you need something a little bigger, 40 by 60 by 12 with a 40 by 30 gable extension for only $69,999, you guys. That's amazing. It's still going to come with all the features that make a Mallett building what it is, which is the best building in the nation. And it's also going to have the Mallett cable lock system. That's not listed here because it's hard to see because it's under the concrete and under a moisture barrier. So keeping all of that in mind, you get all of this. Again, 170-mile-an-hour wind-rated trusses that are 2x8 scissor trusses, so you allow more headroom here. The 12 foot's about right here, you guys. You get an additional 5 inches for every foot of the building width as you go up in the middle here, so even more headroom. You could, as Mr. Darrell says, you could probably fit a giraffe in here. You also get the concrete under every post. That concrete's 4,000 PSI. All the wood is going to be #1 MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber, which means all the microbes, all the bacteria, everything that could cause rot and decay is going to be taken away from that wood, and it's going to be treated to prevent it in the future. Termites, not an issue here. So keep that in mind when you're looking around. And you're also going to get the 26 gauge metal, which is sturdier, stronger, and more dent resistant than 29 gauge or other things on the market. Let's see. When new metal patterns come out, you guys are going to get busy. See this sneak peek in there? You've been talking to some people. We got some, like I mentioned, we have the roll form plant coming soon, which means a lot of new metal patterns and different options for you, the customer. So expanding every day here at Mallett, making the buildings that are already the best even better. We're just running leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else, you guys. This is what we do here, making sure we don't just stay stagnant, because stagnant doesn't grow. But all that being said, these are the November specials, you guys. Call us today because the holidays are around the corner, and that means December is next week. So these are only good through November. 337-214-0428. Call us now. Talk to a building specialist. Don't miss out. So moving right along to the Rival Series. These are not Mallett buildings, but they are Mallett built. What does that mean? I'll let you know. For our budget-conscious shoppers, we've done something I didn't think we were going to do, but Mr. Lee is very proud about this. We've brought the price down, and that's not to say that we've just cut the prices. These are built a little differently. They're not going to have everything the Mallett Classic has that we just talked about. That cable retention system, we're not going to put it on there. We're going to even come down from the 26 to the 29 gauge metal. We're going to have different trusses. We're going to have different materials, but you're going to have the best builders in the country. And what does that mean? That means you, the customer, are able to get in at prices like $18,999 for a 30 by 30 by 12. That's amazing. Now, it's not a Mallett building, so keep that in mind. You get the budget-friendly option, but you don't get all the Mallett features. But we're still happy to build it for you because we understand sometimes that little extra bit of money is what's the breaking point. So we want to have options for everyone. So if that's you, give us a call. The Rival Series is here to stay, you guys. Now, a little bit larger, 30 by 50 by 12 for $27,999. Same spiel. same specs. We'll talk about the full spec layout here in a moment, where we compare it to the Classic and show you the apples to apples comparison as much as we can. Now, 40 by 40 or 40 by 60 by 12 for $39,999 is the largest of our Rival Series specials right now. This is going to be the biggest, and for this price at that size, that's hard to beat, you guys. Now, again, let me preface this. Not a Mallett building, but we're going to get it built for you. We're going to build it with the best builders in the country and the best knowledge, all the information, everything that comes with Mallett, except a few of the features that come starting on our Classic building. We'll talk about that here shortly. But moving right along to the Ambassador program, I'm super excited to announce that we have finalized our Ambassador program, you guys. We've got, I almost shared too much information. We have all of it done. It's in writing, it's approved, it's ready to roll out. If you haven't received your updates on that, please comment Ambassador. If you have been spoken to about the Ambassador program, or you know who you are, you know you're an ambassador, stay tuned, that's coming your way. We're getting all that information pushed out shortly. But it's ready, it's here, and ambassadors, you're about to start making some money. So proud to have you guys along. Thank you again for what you do. Thank you for being a salesman in your own rights. Thank you for being part of the Mallett family. And first and foremost, thank you for trusting us and letting us earn your business here at Mallett and getting a Mallett building on your property. So lots of cool stuff going on, lots of chances to make a little extra money for the holidays. But keep that in mind, ambassadors, we appreciate you. So the 5 red flags, as always, this is not to throw shade, this is not to talk down on anybody. It is simply to raise awareness and bring attention to things that are important to look forward to when you're choosing a builder. It's just like when you're shopping online for Black Friday. You're going to check the reviews, you're going to check what customers say. That's all in here. This is just things to look for when you are shopping. If you're going to use rebar, I don't know enough to talk about that, Mr. Tim, but I know that you were a smart man, and that is exactly right. I'm just going to, what Mr. Tim says is true. So the 5 red flags, years in business. Check how long the business has been around on the Secretary of State website. You don't want to be somebody's first customer. Nothing wrong with that. We all start somewhere, and if you trust your friend with their first customer, by all means, I hope you get a phenomenal building. But here at Mallett, we've been around for 27 plus years, making buildings happen every day. We've had over 25,000 buildings on the ground, so we've learned a thing or 2 or 3. And we have all the systems in place to make sure you get the best experience and best building possible. So keep that in mind when you are shopping around for your building, and I encourage you, shop around, ask questions. Consider the 5 red flags questions to ask as well. How long have you been around? Are you licensed? You would think that should be a very simple task, but a lot of people are trying to do this job without a license, you guys. We see it far too often on the news. Unlicensed contractors, unlicensed individuals. It's hard to call them contractors because they're not licensed. But people who are fly-by-night companies essentially trying to scam, I say, people out of money because you're not an official business. It's hard to justify that. But ensure that company you're considering doing business with is an actual business. You can do that on the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors, the LSLBC. Make sure they have a license, you guys. That's an important step. Now, speaking of licensing and the LSLBC, contractor violations. Guys, this is huge. You want to make sure they're not breaking the law, because if they'll do it once, they'll do it again, and you don't want that to be with you. We want to make sure your money stays in your pocket, and if it's going to a business, we want to make sure the work is being done properly, and being done to the absolute best possible quality. So please, please, please do your due diligence. Check these websites. It's very simple. You just type in the name of the business and it comes right up. LSLBC. I'm happy to say here at Mallett, in over our 27 years and 25,000 buildings plus, we have 0 contractor violations. So very proud of that. We continue to do this every day, and we plan to not have violations going forward. I need a Mallett ambassador sign to put out by the way. We will definitely have that on the list, Mr. Tim. Signs are one of our priorities we are doing in the background here. So definitely will have that added to the list. I see some pen to paper right now, so it's noted. Thank you very much. We'll get that to you. So, reviews on the BBB and Google is red flag number 4, you guys. Don't just take our word for it. We stand up here every day almost and talk about all the things about Mallett. Mr. Tommy also would like a sign as well. So we'll definitely get that too, Mr. Tommy. Thank you all both for being wonderful ambassadors and all you do for us. Again, we very much appreciate you both. Reviews on the BBB and Google. People just like Mr. Tommy and Mr. Tim here, we want you to trust or to talk to the public and to get their opinion and views on us as a company and how we do things. We have over 600, it is now over 650 reviews between the BBB and Google. This was just updated the other day, you guys. The reviews have been pouring in, and over those 650 reviews, we have still kept not only an A+ rating on the BBB, but we have a 4.8 star rating. That's almost a perfect review rating on our reviews, you guys. Over 650 of them. Don't just take my word on everything we say here. Listen to the public, see what they have to say, read the good, read the bad, make your opinion. You're all smart people. Use that smart to make the right decision. And whoever that ends up being, that ends up being. But let us know what you think. You can do this at the BBB and Google for our reviews as well. Make sure they have reviews. Make sure they've actually done enough business to garner reviews. Just things to keep in mind. And number 5, visit the contractor's facility. It's so cool to see where the products you're purchasing and spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on is being made. I know I'm a big eyes-on person, so being able to come here every day and see the trusses being made, see the buildings being assembled and packaged and being shipped out, all the materials that goes into it, all the work and man hours that's put behind the scenes just to get the building to your location to simply be put up. And it blows my mind that the logistics behind all this run so smoothly because there's so many buildings. We have 66 jobs just this week. That's a small number. It's the holidays. It's been a little, it's not as, we've seen over 100 jobs in the week here recently. All that happens, it starts here at the facility. And we encourage you to come check it out, see the state-of-the-art truss plant. We're about to have the roll form plant up and going. More progress each and every day. Hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. But with all these jobs going on, we gotta focus on the customers. But that's coming soon. Come check it out. If you have any questions, come check us out. We are right off of the I-10 interstate, big green building. We're currently on the 2nd of the 3rd story. We're hard to miss, you guys. And just to say, this building we're in has been through 16 hurricanes. So let that be an example as well. But check out the facility. If they don't have a facility, why? Nothing against people who don't have a facility, but we do. So we just want you to come check that out. It's a great place. Now, why Mallett, the rival series compared to the Mallett Classic? This is what we were talking about earlier. My wife said you were an excellent speaker, almost as good as... I appreciate that, Mr. Tim. I'll have to have you on one day, and maybe we can both have a tag team session like Mr. Lee and Mr. Trent do. So, the rival series. As I said, it's not a Mallett building, and this is why. 29 gauge metal, 4-on-12 roof pitch, 2x6 trusses, common flat trusses for this instance, 130 mile-an-hour wind rating, no uplift control, so there's the cable lock system, not there. Posts are going to go in the ground or gravel. They're not going to have post pads, not going to have post protectors. You're going to have 2x8 headers, 3,000 PSI concrete, no skirt boards for ground protection, limited warranty, and number 2, untreated generic lumber. Now, this is what allows not only the rival series, but a lot of other builders to have such affordable buildings. Cheap, we can call them. Affordable is the rival series because I don't like the word cheap. I just think it's, unless it really is cheap. But the rival series just does not have the things that our entry-level building does. Now, you get the phenomenal price and the wonderful builders here at Mallett. Those are two things that are hard to beat. And if you just need a building, I would give the rival series a shot because those prices are incredibly hard to beat, you guys. Plus, you get the best builders, so you can guarantee that. But if quality and craftsmanship and workmanship are right up your alley and things you care about, then for not much of a difference in price, but a huge difference in quality, you can get the Mallett Classic. It's called a Classic for a reason. It is the building. It is what put us on the map and is what we started with, but improved. 26 gauge metal standard, thicker, more durable. 5-on-12 roof pitch, it's prettier, and it allows for shedding of debris and water better so you can have a longer lasting roof. 2x8 scissor trusses, allowing more headroom as we described earlier. Third-party inspected trusses. We have that video of our truss inspector here, goes over everything. I can promise you, they check everything. Things are inspected. We also have in-house inspections as well, so that's a second inspection. Those trusses we talked about, 170 mile-an-hour wind rating. Mallett cable lock system, we talk about this every day. It's that aircraft cable that goes post to post in all directions underneath your post pad or underneath your concrete. And that's going to have the moisture barrier and the concrete all keeping this system underneath. And if anything happens to a door, window, roll-up door, things like that, that uplift from the winds are going to be detrimental to most buildings that don't have the cable lock system because they're just going to go away like a parachute. I speak from experience. I have lost a building in Laura. We lost a 40x60 shop. It was like it never existed. I wish we would have had a Mallett cable lock system because it'd be nice to still have a shop. But concrete under every post is also included. 2x12 headers. That's huge, you guys. That's insane. 4,000 PSI concrete, skirt board guards, 4-year workmanship warranty is where we start. Number 1, MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber. We went over that a little earlier, how amazing that is. And our in-house engineer who you saw yesterday verifies all of our designs and makes sure things are up to code, standard, and the Mallett quality that we love to give here. So just a quick difference of the Rival and the Mallett. We offer both. It just depends on what your final, where you stand as your break-even point on what you need. If you're more budget-friendly, Rival's a great series. If you're more quality and you care about the finer things, Mallett Classic. Easiest way to put it, you guys. But you can get them both here at Mallett. Now, speaking of the Classic, here's our Classic against our Elite. It's not fun to compare things that aren't necessarily apples to apples. But when you compare our own buildings to each other, it's cool to see how the standards come up and up and up from the entry level to the top tier. So on the Elite building, Zach screws on everything. Zach screws on everything. Truss system, we're going to have 3-foot spacing as opposed to 5-foot. For truss spacing, I'm sorry. 10-foot on center, or 9-foot on center as opposed to 10-foot on center for the post spacing. The concrete is going to be 6 inches, not 4, and it's going to be 4,000 microfiber reinforced slab with control joints. That's some strong concrete. You're going to also have the concrete under each post, which you get in the Classic, but with the Elite, we're going to have complementary post protectors as well, extending the life of your base of your post for up to almost 500 years. That is generational standards right there. You're going to have full roof and wall insulation included, a continuous ridge vent system, seamless gutter and gutter guards, wainscot trim, 145 mile-an-hour wind-rated building with a 170 mile-an-hour wind-rated roof. A 10-year workmanship warranty, and full engineered system signed and sealed per the ASCE 7. So just the differences in our own buildings here, you guys. Top of the line, Mac Daddy, best of the best. Any positive thing you could name it, that's what the Elite building is. The Classic, it's a phenomenal building as well, guys. And this is just our entry level as far as the Mallett buildings go. So keep that in mind. Again, this is what we mean by quality, craftsmanship, and workmanship, you guys. This is where we put our bread and butter at. So on to the topic for today. Customer suggested 70769, which is in Ascension Parish. We're going to talk about permitting and before you build. This is huge. So why this matters. Ascension Parish is one of Louisiana's fastest growing areas, but it also makes it a strict and process-driven permitting process. I have heard a lot of people say Ascension Parish is one of, if not the, most difficult parish to get permitting in. We're here to make that process that much easier. We have this information, and we also have all of our in-house information that we will go over with you when we're in the process with you. But starting early prevents delays, rejections, and added cost. Knowing what to do for the permitting process also helps with this, and that's why you're here today. So, the parish overview, 70769. This is in Ascension Parish, as we mentioned. All permits are handled through the building department and planning and development. So these are the two organizations you're going to be speaking with the majority of the time, if not all the time. This includes zoning, floodplain rules, and inspections. Keep in mind, if you have any questions about these, we can help you out. Just give us a call, we'll let you know. Now, permit required, of course. Accessory structures always require a permit, especially here. Post frame buildings, shops, barns, sheds, RV covers, garages. Even if you're not running utilities, a permit is required. You must meet the Parish Development Code and the Louisiana State UCC. Keep this in mind. Again, it's a very process-heavy area. Make sure you understand going into it what that process is going to look like. So, accessory structure application. What is this process like? Let's go over that. The parish uses the residential accessory structure permit application form. This must be submitted before construction begins. Mallett provides engineered construction drawings, which you will be submitting with this form as well. So that's something you're going to need going into it. We supply that for you, making it that much simpler, one less thing you have to worry about. Now, what you must submit, here's the full list. You must submit structure dimensions, building location, your intended use, conform utilities, so electric, plumbing, things like that, engineered plans, which we will provide, and a full site plan with setbacks, which we can also help as well. That's a lot of things to do. You're going to have to go as far as telling them how you're going to use the building, where it's going to go, of course, setbacks, full site plan. All of this is going to be what you have to submit to get your approval. We help with all of this. Most of this is put into your building packet that Jessica talked about. If you missed that video, check it out on our Facebook and YouTube. It is great information. She definitely goes into a deep dive, and we take a deeper dive the following day. So there's 2 videos, lots of information. And we have our new Mallett blog, the Beam Report, that has been phenomenal. You guys have been reading the mess out of that. I don't know how many times you can read that thing, but we've had so many viewers, it's been insane. Thank you so much for all the interaction on that. Be sure you check it out on our website under the Beam Report. All of this information is more in-depth, one place, one little read for you. There, check that out, mallettbuildings.com. Now, site plan requirements. Your site plan must show the following: property lines, driveway access, building placement, setback distances, easements, servitudes, utilities, and other structures on the lot. They want to know everything. Any structure you have on the lot that is already built, things that are taking up space, if it is there, put it on this, because they're going to want to know all of it. And these are all things you can contact your parish for. We can also help as much as possible for this, but let us know where you're at in the process. Hopefully it's getting all this done, because you're going to need all this before we start building. Mr. Tim says, for residential use, you also need the preliminary res check certificate. Thank you for that information as well. Add that to your list. I hope you're taking notes. Get your binder out, your number 2 pencil. For whatever reason, number 2 is the best pencil. I'm not sure. Number 1's the best lumber, and we use that. So I'm not sure the whole pencil thing, but you know. Moving right along. Why the site plan matters, aside from the parish needing it, the parish verifies zoning compliance with this site plan. It ensures the building placement is legal. That is a huge, huge step, because, as always, if the parish isn't on board with it and it's not permitted correctly, they will make you take the building down. That's expensive. This also prevents plan rejection, so it prevents you from being delayed on that aspect. And it avoids mid-build layout changes. Nothing's worse than having to get re-permitted, redesigned, changing everything in the middle of the build because something wasn't done correctly. We want to help avoid that, so consider that. Now, setbacks and zoning basics. These vary by zoning districts. Each and every area that has a different zoning is going to have slightly different rules on their zoning as well. Be sure you're reading the proper zoning rules for your area. We can help provide that here at Mallett, but there is a little bit of research that needs to be done as well. It just depends on where you're at, so keep that in mind. Now, common concerns in the setbacks and zonings. Front, side, rear distances. We talked about setbacks before. Say this is your property. If they want you 20 feet from the sides, 20 feet from the back, and 40 feet from the front, well, that's where you're going to have to be at a minimum. So keep that in mind. Let's see. What are you guys paying per foot to build your barns? Mr. Bill, I wish I could give you a 100% direct answer, but that is going to be depending on what level of building you get, what add-ons you do, any type of additional features, any type of special requests, things like that. So there is a general answer, but if you don't mind, shoot us a message and I will direct you to one of our sales professionals and they can better assist you. They have those prices more on hand of what the going rate is currently. But at the end of the day, it all depends on what you want to do with your building and what's the size, the area, things like that. So thank you very much for the question. I'd be happy to get that information to you. Just please shoot us a message with the best way to contact you and we'll be in touch as soon as possible. Now, setbacks and zonings were also common concerns are how the structure is being used. Again, they want to know everything. Everything. And it has to be to a T. So cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure the packet is done correct. The zoning types, they're going to include A1, RM, MU, etc. This is all the fancy zoning terms. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry. They will be explained to you in your process. Now, how to confirm your setbacks, because we need them. Now let's make sure they're confirmed. Because data isn't clearly published online, whoop-de-woo, request, structure, these are things you need to request. Structure and lot regulations. It's going to be code 17-2072. Also, call the planning and development at 225-450-1012. Confirm exact setbacks before submitting your site plan. It's very easy, you guys. Once you're working with the planning and development people, call them often. Be involved with them as much as possible. You may bother them, but it's a lot less of a bother to call frequently than to have to change things and go through a process that is more expensive, more time consuming. A simple email, does this look correct? Is this what you're looking for? Things like that, questions like that are definitely helpful, and I'm sure they'd appreciate it as well to know you're doing your due diligence. Mr. Bill, it looks like one of our building specialists, AJ, is here in the chat giving you an answer for those listening. It is around $16 to $40 a square foot, depending on height, size, components of building package, and amount of doors and windows. Thank you very much, AJ, for taking the time to do that. Now, this is how to confirm your setbacks. We just talked about that. Confirm, confirm, confirm. I guess that's the key words here. Confirm, confirm, confirm. Let's see. Res check also ensures efficiency requirements verification. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Tim. I don't believe the res check was on our presentation for today, but that's good information to have. So, flood zone requirements. 70769 includes multiple flood zones, as many places do here in Louisiana. And you may be required to have the following: a flood elevation certificate, unless you're in flood zone X 9 times out of 10, with special exceptions, they won't make you have that. But if you're outside of an X zone, be prepared to have a flood elevation certificate. Just keep that in mind. Engineered slab foundation. You'll also may be required to have extra documentation for AE, A, and even X zones in some cases, as we said. Important: if the base flood elevation, or BFE, requires a 3-foot fill, dirt must come from your property. Now this is a sticky one here, you guys. A lot of people want to just have dirt brought in. In many cases, and in this parish specifically, you will have to have the dirt from your own property. Now, that may look like you get a pond. That may look like a retention area. That may look like something, but the dirt has to come from your own property. And it needs to be in an area that does not restrict water movement, cause back flood, flooding your neighbors, things like that. So, if you ever want a pond, this might be your chance to do it, because you have to have it from your own property, unless you get special exceptions, which I haven't heard much of that happening. So be prepared to pull that dirt from your own area. Now, engineering requirements. Ascension Parish commonly requires the following: stamped engineered drawings, wind load calculations, foundation and slab details, anchoring specs, truss engineering, Mallett supplies all of these documents. Because we have an in-house and we are a licensed engineering firm, we are able to supply everything and stamps on them and be sure they're 100% up to code because we are capable of doing that. It's just something else we're proud of here, another way for us to help you, the customer. But you will be required in most cases to have all of these documents. All of these documents are supplied by us here at Mallett, so don't worry. Now, inspections you can expect to have. Inspections are so much fun. But foundation and footing inspections, framing, electrical or plumbing if you're doing those extra things there. And of course, the final inspections. The permit must remain posted on site through this entire process. So the entirety of this process honestly cannot begin until the permit is posted on site, whether it be on a tree, on a building that's already there, somewhere on the build site, you've got to have your permit posted or they will not begin work. If someone's willing to do work without a permit, you may want to second guess who you're having build your property because that's not legal. Now, how to avoid delays. No one likes delays. Delays cost time and money. So let's see, area designated as critical drainage areas. 100% true. Critical drainage areas are very tricky. Flooding and drainage in general is tricky because moving any land around definitely causes water to move in a different way. It's a very tricky process. Your local planning and development people would definitely be on top of that if that's the case. So how to avoid these delays? Secure your permit early. This is what I talked about, being constant communication. Confirm zoning before submitting so you don't have to resubmit. Get accurate setbacks. Again, send them the information. Know where you are putting your setbacks before you submit. And when you submit, be sure they're correct. You do this by asking questions. Prepare a proper site plan. We can help you with that here at Mallett. Understand the flood zone requirements. As Mr. Tim was saying, flood issues are very complicated. It all comes down to a few feet in some cases, and we just want to make sure you're following the right required processes. These are all things we can assist you with here at Mallett as well. We have a team dedicated to all of these topics, and we are definitely here to help. But this is how to avoid those pesky delays. So, a little bit of final guidance. If you're building in 70769, we can help. That's the main takeaway here. Us here at Mallett, we can help. So, how can we help you? We can identify your zoning for you. We can assemble your permit package and help prepare it to submit to the permit office. We can provide the engineered plans because, as I said, we are a licensed engineering firm, and we can keep your project moving on schedule, which also helps avoid those delays. So, we want to be there with you from start to finish, from I'm just looking to thank you so much for building my building. We want to be there for anyone, everyone at every step of the way. We have the capability and we have the desire, and us here at Mallett, we're just super excited to have the chance to speak to you today and hopefully earn your business. So if you're ready to take that next step, or if you just have any questions, 337-214-0428 is the number, or visit us online at mallettbuildings.com. We have a lot of information. Like I mentioned, the blog is the Beam Report. Check that out. You'll also see building specials and promotional prices online there as well. And don't forget to comment cash. It is going to get you $1,000 off using Tiger Cash on your elite or signature building. We are very happy to have you. That's the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tyler. It's been a great day. Hope to see you tomorrow. And let's get you in a Mallett building soon. Have a great day, you guys.